Hi there, my name is Annette, and I'm so glad to have you here on my social media page. I know for so many people, you're new to my page, so I just want to say welcome and give you a little info about me and some stuff that's been shared online lately. So I'm a journalist from Kansas. I am a native Kansan. I've been in this business for close to 2 decades, and I've worked in places like Topeka, Wichita, as well as Cleveland, Ohio. I love journalism. I love storytelling. I've been doing this essentially since high school, of being able to craft stories based on current events. And journalism is so important to me. As a morning news anchor, I certainly follow a lot of different stories, and I think it's so important for the public to be informed. So if you're new to my page and you've seen some of my content as of late, you're probably like, why is she talking about politics? Well, for me, talking about politics is one thing. Sharing political stories is one thing, but being political is a totally different thing. On the post that I've shared, I make sure, because I know my bosses are watching and so many people in the public too, to not share my opinion on things. And often I don't really, I can understand various opinions anyway. So I want to respect everyone's right to think what they do, because as my job as a journalist, I want to hear from you and be able to give you a voice in whatever story that we're trying to put together. That's really important to me. As of late, there certainly have been a lot of polarizing and political stories. Do you talk about the stories or not? For me, I think it is important to be able to share news with people and share the facts with people. So if we're talking about a story, I want you to have those facts so you can make an educated decision on whatever it is. Now, certainly a big topic this past week is the death of Charlie Kirk. And it's so sad. Like, his assassination, his death is just horrible to think of, the loss of his life to his family, to his wife, to his kids. Certainly some people have strong opinions about Charlie Kirk, and that's fine for you to have opinions on that. Some people have been vocal about that online, and that's led to them losing their jobs and such, or getting in trouble. And that's just a consequence sometimes of free speech. Free speech isn't necessarily all free. It can come with consequences. For me as a journalist, I want to be able to craft a conversation about what's happening. So sharing the fact of Charlie Kirk's passing, maybe a vigil that's taking place this weekend. They will have a celebration of life for the public to be at. And so those are things to think about. That's in Arizona, by the way. And I'll make sure I put information in the comments so you can see the details there if you want to go and see anything with that online. One thing that's popped up just this past day is Jimmy Kimmel. And that's a big topic. His late night show is essentially being canceled. Officially it hasn't, but I mean, it's being put on hold indefinitely. And there's a lot of different things that have come into play. I've shared the news about that online. Not my view or perspective on it. Just, hey, just so you know, you're not going to see Jimmy Kimmel live on late night right now. But also with that, people are probably thinking like, oh, what did he say? Did he say something about Charlie Kirk this way, or did he do something? I've been curious too, because I'm a TV viewer just like you are. I want to know what's going on. So last night I put up a post about, here's the transcript of the show in question about what Jimmy Kimmel had said, like in a monologue. And it's nice to have a transcript there. If you can find the video of it online too, that's great. I don't know if it's been pulled down from various places. I kind of feel like it might be, just to because of everything in this environment that we're in. But I think it's good for you to read those words and hear them too, if you can, because then you can get a sense of what was said exactly, and you can form your own opinion about that. Again, I'm not sharing my opinion, but I want you to be able to form yours based on what's out there. And I think it's important to clarify too, because some people have lost their jobs talking about Charlie Kirk, and they might be talking about like how he died or about who he was as a person. And those things have led to some people, like I said, losing jobs and that sort of thing. Was that what happened here with Jimmy Kimmel? Well, here's what he said, and now you know. So I hope that gives you some clarity as to why I share those things. It's not to create divide. One person called me out and said, oh, well, you know, putting this up isn't necessarily the most inviting conversation. But I'm like, at the same time, there's such uninviting conversations elsewhere. I'm like, at least this one educates people about what was said, right? And so that's my goal, is to make sure that we are, as a community, educated and understanding of what's happening. And there's, I think, a bigger narrative and lots of different things coming into play as to what led up to everything with Jimmy Kimmel, but I just want people to be informed. That's all. So I hope you appreciate that. I'm not trying to make you mad or anything of that sort. I want you to be informed. And overall on my page, I think it's very warm and inviting and fun. I like to share pictures from viewers about, their views of the sky and, hearing about the celebrations in their community. I like to share stuff with food and my family and some of the good there and some inspirational stories from other parts of the country. One of my friends here at work talked about, I'll have to put a link. I got to find this story online, but she heard of this school district. I think it's maybe in California, where if you ever are having a down day, you can call this one phone line, and kindergarten students in this school district are recording positive messages for people to listen to. It's so nice. So I hope that those are the things that you see from my page and you're like, okay, this is good stuff. I hope that the political related content doesn't turn you off, but at least it keeps you informed. And overall, I just do appreciate y'all being here. So thank you for joining me and for watching this video. If you got to the very end, kudos to you. Like I said, very sad to see. I don't like to hear of anyone losing their lives, anything like that. It's sad to see the passing of Charlie Kirk and the way it happened as well. But thinking of his family and his community, because I know he had a big following, and that's hard to see. And for anyone going through loss and everything, I mean, you know what it's like to navigate all that. It's really tough. So this environment politically can be really charged and challenging, but I hope that in the end, we as a community can respect each other and each other's opinions. And I hope you can respect where I come from too as a journalist, of just sharing simply the facts of what's happening and allowing you to decide what's going on, in your world, how you feel about it, because it's your feeling, it's your opinion, and it's your free speech, and you're entitled to all those things. And I don't want to create a place, a community that's negative for you to experience. So thank you for being here and for hearing me out. I hope you all have a really, you're really informed and you have a good day ahead. Thank you.